Yup. Y'all know what it is, man. Eagles Way of Boxing. Friday wrapping it up, man. We always got something going on, some kind of noise in the background. Always some trucks or something. I live in a business area. Wow. I operate out of a business area, whatever you want to call it. And so it's business. So there's always trucks, always noise, all day long, all night long. Well, not necessarily all night, but early in the morning, 4 o'clock. That's just like all day. If it stops at 12 or 1 and starts again at 4, then it's like you might as well say it's the noise and stuff is all night. But either way, salute to everybody out there. Salute to the chat. I'm just gonna hang in there tight. Wait for you guys, you people, to come through. My people, wait for you to come through. Got to kind of wrap up today. This is a wrap today. This is a real wrap, like a wrap, because Eagle got to get ready. No, I came in a little bit late, but Eagle got to get ready for tomorrow, man. It's supposed to be a beautiful day, nice and subtle. Only thing I don't know about is the winds. I don't know about the wind, if the wind is going to be heavy or something like that. But tomorrow I got a great event, so I'm going to have to let other people know that, hey, you guys need to make it out here because it's supposed to be, the weather's supposed to be subtle and everything. 76 and 77, that's more or less ideal weather. For me, I don't know. When I was a kid, I know 77 seemed like it was a little bit warmer than it is today. But yeah, so we're gonna see what it do. So 76, 77, prospectively. So day after day. That's the only thing I've been worried about lately. Not really worried, but the only thing that's been bothering me lately is wind. God dang, wind is something else, man. Who invented wind? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but wind is something else, man. You know what I mean? Wind is like, whew. That wind just comes in. It blows everything over and everything. I guess some of my people over in Arizona, I guess they were suffering like big windstorm, monsoon, huh? That's what they call it, monsoon. I never knew that monsoon was inland. I never knew that monsoon was inland. But I guess so. I didn't want to argue with nobody. I guess monsoon could be inland too. But all the extra heavy rain, lightning, and wind. For me, wind is the worst. You can always protect yourself from water. I salute the Surf Flame out there already. Surf Flame, I seen the title. You already know I'm here first. Yeah, old Surf Flame. Hey, I know my people, man. I know y'all. Yeah, I know y'all, brother. I know Surf Flame. I know Surf Flame gonna be one of the first. If you wasn't gonna be first, she's gonna be second. You damn sure wasn't gonna be third, fourth, or fifth, or nothing like that. Yeah, you's gonna be within the top two. Don't worry, I read the instructions. Those are our chat room. We call them chat room instructions. You know how you get instructions in the dressing room? So this is like a dressing room. It's the whole gamut, though. It's not just a dressing room. It's the ring and everything else up in here. So we talk about it. So it's Sir Flame funny. Yeah, you talking about Pac? I got to come up and see what's up. You talking about Pac? Yeah, I got to come see what it's about. Yeah, that's funny. That is too funny. Yeah, yeah. But I know my brothers and stuff. I know how they react. I know how they come in. They come in proper, but hey, they still are fans of certain fighters. They're not like me. I can't. Even if I have a favorite fighter, a lot of people think that Earl Spence is like my favorite fighter. No, I talk about Earl Spence because of what he does. I don't talk about Earl Spence. Oh, I love Earl Spence. I don't care. I don't care. No, I don't care about any of them like that. That's right. I'm strapped up today. I just made this last night, so that's why I have it on my choker. That's why I have this one on. So I'm just getting used to the way it feels. It feels wonderful, man. It feels good. Don't even notice that it's on. This feels real good. I don't know. I might sell it, but I'm probably gonna wear it because I got rid of so many of them. But if I find another one that I like, I'll trade this one. But yeah, you always got to have this because let me see. This is already August, September. Yeah, I'll be back out there in the arena for a small event at least. Well, but I'll be out there dancing and celebrating, out there with the people. So finally we get back, and I'll try to put that on my other channel. Hopefully I can hire me a good photographer, somebody who's not an influencer. And I'm saying that safely when I say influencer. I don't mean it like the way that, like, like a internet influencer. I don't mean it like that. But I'm keeping it safe by just saying influencer. Hopefully the person that can take the pictures and stuff is not an influencer. So that's the way I gotta look at it. Yep. Oh wow. There's just so much awkwardness happening around sports, not just in boxing, but all around. It's just, I don't. Is it new media? Is that what it is? Yeah. Sir Flame said, I honestly think Spence would be an easier fight for Pac than Ugas. The styles make fights. He might be easier to fight him, but he's tougher. And I kind of agree with you. I mean, I agree with you to the point that it's easy in the sense that, I think Manny will probably get more punches off on him, more. I would say cleaner. He might hit Earl cleaner. I'm not saying he's gonna beat up on Earl, but I think he would hit Earl a little bit cleaner. But then Earl hits back too, though. So, and plus Earl, he just learns what you do, because Earl will let you do whatever you want to do for 4 or 5 rounds. But once Earl catches up with you, then it's all downhill for you. I mean, you're gonna turn defensively. At one point in a fight when Earl fights anybody, and I've never seen it fail, that they start off and they look like, okay, dang, they give him Earl problem. But the one thing, and salute to Derek Bailey out there, salute brother. But the one thing about Earl Spence is one point in that fight, you're going to become defensive. It's just how long you stay defensive. You can't, if you're not a defensive fighter, see, Ugas and Earl would be a good fight. Because Ugas is going to be defensive. You see what I mean? So he's starting off defensive, so he's already going to be defensive from jump. You see? But if Earl makes you turn defensive and you don't get out of that mode until the 12th round, like Danny Garcia did, try to throw some punches in the 12th round, it's already too late. You can't start fighting Earl in the 12th round. It's already too late. Yeah. Okay. I see. He said, no, not beat up on Earl, just Earl is slower. He said slower feet, and Pac has issues with boxers. Yeah, Earl can box, though. Don't get that part messed up. A lot of people think that about Earl, but Earl can box. It's too bad that we don't see it now. Well, we'll see it. We may see it. I don't know. We may or we may not, because Earl's not interested in Pac. He's not interested in Pacquiao. Because there's a strap involved. He would be interested in Pacquiao if the strap wasn't involved, but he's interested in Pacquiao if Pacquiao wins the strap. If he loses, then he's not really going to be. He's not going to shoot for him like right now. If Pacquiao hangs on, so Pacquiao, it's going to get worse and worse for Pacquiao if he loses, because Earl will go for Ugas, and then he'll probably go for Terrence Crawford, and then come back and get Manny. So that's the way we got to look at it like that. Does Ugas have a torn bicep? I didn't hear anything about him having a torn bicep. He looked good. He didn't look like it when he's coming in with his girl. He might. But that's not good. If he does have a torn bicep and he's fighting Manny, he knows better than that, man. And you can't You can't pull out, man. They, well, I guess the doctors already looked at him, right? But he's gonna have to look at him again. If he does have a torn bicep, he ain't gonna be able to fight, man. They're not gonna let him fight. You ain't fighting with no torn bicep. I mean, you could, depends on how how bad it is. But torn muscles hurt, man. They make everything real tight. Yeah, but hey, good looking, y'all, because I didn't notice that. Yeah, but evidently I didn't see it. Let's see. Yeah, I guess a lot of people have been mentioning that, right? But let's just look it up. Um, yeah, I see a lot of people were talking about it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's true or nothing like that. If he does, that means he was training like extra hard for Manny's ass. You know what I mean? So he might not even get the fight. So I'm looking at a couple of channels, and I can't tell. So I don't know because it's just coming up in different channels and stuff. It's not coming up. It's all YouTube stuff. So that's all I can see. Yeah, that's all I see. Yeah, I don't see anything that actually. I just see people reporting, so I don't know. So you can look at it, and based on, I think the worst one probably that we saw. The worst one we saw probably was Deontay Wilder's torn bicep. Yeah. Yeah. But if he's gonna fight, I guess so. Just a warrior. He's going to end up getting in there losing or whatever. I don't know. It's gonna be a good. I think it'll be a good fight. If he's not hurt, it'll still be a good fight. It's gonna just be a good fight anyway. Because I think, Manny, no matter how you sparring, you got to shake that rust off in there. Ain't no times out. There's no times out for him with the regular gloves and all that. Ugas coming for it. Yeah. Plus he got somebody to impress now that I see. But anyway, since we into the show now, Sir Flame says salute to Eagles Web. He said salute to the chat. He said, and as always, he said jab that like button. He said, oh y'all neck. He said don't get neck in Eagles Web box. He got the fire up good with that 100 with those things, baby, in that glove. And if you want to find out what neck is, just come in and just act the fool. Act the fool. And then that's how you find out what neck is about. That's all I want to say on it. A lot of times I give you too much of a explanation, but I'm just not going to give out explanations this time because I don't think Sir Flame has been working in Eagles Web for a little bit, so I'm not going to, drop all the I'm not going to drop all the information at this time. Yep. I guess we still got Escandon and Castro and Serrano Mercado, still looks like. But I think we have more though, right? Didn't you say we still got Guerrero and all that? But hey, Derek, you got to send me your cousin's information again, man. I'll be working. You guys know that. I'll be working. I got. Let me see. Let me see if I even have it in here. But I've been working, brother. I've been working hard, man. Ego. I have to have, I had to have this event, man. I can't. There's no, what I mean? There's no BS on this event. I have to have this event. You know what I mean? I got to be able to get this event off. So. When you got certain events, man, you got to. Yeah. Now, anytime, that's for anybody out there. When your money comes around, man, if you work independently, once your money comes around, you have to go get your money. You got to go get it. I got some nice pictures and stuff. Maybe I'll put these pictures up one of these times. It's a place that you go. It's a real serene place, man. I think everybody should visit places like this. It's a national park and stuff. You see, I'll put it up. Yeah, probably I'll put it up one of these times. I'll show you guys what it is. The one I love, man, is the Pinnacles. It's so quiet up there. I mean, you actually hear your own heart. You're like, wow, you be freaking out. Like, damn, is my heart beating that hard? Yep. It's not necessarily beating that hard, but your heart is letting you know, hey, you still moving. Yeah. But I hope he doesn't, man. Derek Bay said, I need one too. Yep. Yeah, you got to have that. You got to have a big event, man, when you're independent, man. Especially the way this system is right now, man. Shoot, I almost forgot that the place I'm going to, I had to have. You got to have, Cali. You got to have your outdoors. You got to have fire extinguishers and shit. I'm like, damn, I almost forgot the fire extinguisher, but now I picked that up, so I'm good. I think I got everything. I got my. That's one of the main things. Mask, fire extinguisher, sanitizers, and instructions, and all this other crap. It's like, wow, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff you can't forget, because you forget, then now you have to go all the way back home, pick it up or whatever, and you're too far away. It's a wrap. Yes, you got to go buy more. That's the worst feeling, is when you have to go buy something that you already have. Especially when you bought something expensive and you have to replace it. And you probably replace it with something cheaper. You know what I mean? But just because you already have it, but you need it like right now. Like, oh man, I just bought this. You know what I mean? Like, you go out and you buy the best. Let's say, for instance, let's just go food items or something like that, like a sauce or something like that. You wasn't gonna make barbecue sauce, but you went and bought, is it Uncle Ray's or something like that? You went and bought Uncle Ray's. I think that sound familiar, Sir Flame? He from Texas. Uncle Tubbs or Uncle Ray. So you go and buy Uncle Ray's sauce or whatever, and just for a jar, what is it, 20 ounces or something like that? You're talking about $8, $9. You get to the barbecue and you don't have your Uncle Ray's, and they was counting on you to bring the 5 bottles of Uncle Ray. So you say, I'll just go get some sauce. So now you got to go get, and I'm not trying to throw them underneath the bus or nothing like that, but now you got to go get we'll give them a good one. We'll say the Cattleman or something like that. You got to go get that. Not saying it's bad, but it ain't good as Uncle's. Anytime you put uncle or aunt on something, it's got to be good. Or mama's. Papa, maybe not necessarily, but if you put mama something on anything, yeah. Mama Little's buttermilk biscuits, that's just gonna be good. Mama anything. It should be, and yes, you got no business labeling. Don't label stuff. Don't put mom on anything or mama on anything if it ain't the best. Mothers, not necessary. Because that's not an attachment. Mother is not the attachment. Mom is, because mom is the part of that's the heartbeat. That's the warm-blooded. That's the warm-blooded, is the MA, is the warm-blooded. And mother could be like something else. So, but you can't put mama on something that ain't no good, man. Huh? Mama's cornbread and it sucks. Come on, are you serious? Why mama on there? Mama suck like that? Mama's cornbread ain't nothing, man. Come pick that shit up, D. D to the baby, come get that shit, man. Don't bring mama stuff over here no more. They telling you not to bring mama stuff around no more. That's sad, man. You can't bring mama stuff over. Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it though. Yeah, we already talked about mines a little bit. I got the event and all that, but we're gonna. Now I put up the explanation points, and then I put up the question mark when I talk about Pacquiao. Now Pacquiao, for right now, Pacquiao probably is the greatest boxer right now. He's the greatest boxer. He went through controversy. See, one thing you have to go through to be a great boxer is the controversy. Now, what keeps Pacquiao from right really like holding the complete title? What's going to keep him? Now we can discuss it if we're going to discuss it, but I'm just summarizing it. What keeps him from being the greatest? You know, you can say he's one of the greats. You can call everybody one of the greatest, but we know who the namesake is for the greatest. Okay, the hard luck that he had as a child. Yeah, you can take that in consideration. Being out on the street. More or less kicked out the house and stuff like that. Becoming a senator. That's for his country though. But the one thing that keeps him away from that title, and it's not Ali that keeps him from the title. It's just his world appeal. See the difference between the world appeal and the earth appeal. See, you can have a world appeal, but when you have a whole earth appeal, it's different. So you can have different worlds. Might have a little bit of the Asian world, a little bit of Hispanic world, stuff like that. Italian world, you might have a little bit. But when you have the earthly appeal, which no other boxer has really ever had but Ali, so that's why it's hard to replace. It's hard to replace Ali because the rest of these fighters don't have the earth appeal. Where you go into Sunan or something like that, and you go into the worst parts of town, and they have drawn pictures of you and stuff and put up Ali that you the greatest and all that. That means you've known, man. The people don't even have money, but they got enough, to go and buy the chalk or whatever, or the paint, and paint pictures of you with your arms up and saying that you're the greatest and stuff. And it seems to give them, they're not the same nation as you, but it gives you the pride. Makes you feel proud, to be someone of a copper color. So that's to summarize it. But the argument is, you can have a lot of arguments. So you can argue against what I said. You don't have to take what I said, but you can argue against it, and I'll argue with you. No, I got no problem with it. In which everybody should know. Yeah. Okay. Sir Flem said, yeah, Rays. Okay. Yeah. See, I know. See, I know my sauces and stuff, man. Rays. There's certain stuff that come automatically top shelf, baby. Certain stuff is top shelf, man. Okay. I know y'all. Some people meat eaters. Some of us ain't meat eaters and nothing like that, but we probably been around and have eaten meat before. So you have to know, man. So which one? Heinz 57, A1, which one? What is it? Pepper, I forget their name. Something in Perrin. Is it Hearns and Perrin? I forget the name. I think it's Hearns and Perrin. I was right about the Rays. But yeah, so whose is it? Okay, who makes the best? Because we all probably eat this. Who makes the best dressings for like salad? Besides not homemade, who makes the best dressings for like salads and stuff like that? Which oil is the best? Which oil? Like, oh, this bad. What's like a finger licking spice? If you don't mix up your own spices, what spice do you get? Do you guys get the Cajun spice? Which one you guys like? Is it Lowry's? Because I know. See, this is what I heard. I'm sorry. I keep going. I know we still talking about Pac-Man, but I hear this on the movies and stuff, and it's stereotypical. I don't like it. I don't think it's really true. It is true, but I don't like that it's true. But it's not the best though. And I'm not trying to kill them. Yeah, the Lee and Perrins, yeah, the Worcester, that's the best one out of the Worcester. Yep, they know what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I was gonna say. So Lowry's. I hear that too much on films and stuff. Lowry's. Like, okay, a lot of brown people use Lowry's. Okay, a lot of brown people. I'm not gonna lie and say we don't. We use Lowry's. But Lowry's is not the best. Lowry's is not the best. If you want to scale it up, there's other companies. I can't name, some of them are private companies, but I would say, I believe Zatarans has a seasoning too. I like the Cajun seasoning. If I'm not gonna mix my own, I like the Cajun seasoning. I don't like Lowry's like that. I like the New Orleans seasons. I like that. I don't like the Lawry's is okay, but the thing about Lawry's for me is Lawry's has too much salt. It has good. It has an okay spice, pretty decent spice to it, but it's too much salt. And for me, it's not enough. It just don't have enough kick. I need a little bit more heat because you're always gonna have to add heat to it. If you have Lawry's, you're gonna have to add that heat. Look at the Sir Flame said grandma's cookies. But you know what, grandma's cook. I'm gonna be honest about grandma's cookies. So grandma's cookies is okay, but grandma's cookies just wasn't. To be honest, I'm gonna be honest with you. There was only like a few of them that think about which ones could you eat out of grandma's cookies. And a lot of people don't like raisins, so you're gonna eat that iced raisins. So the best ones out of there is what? End up being like probably the chocolate chip or something like that. Got to have that chocolate in it. Yeah. Derek Bay said not big on Zatarans. I'm not saying Zatarans instant pouches. I'm talking about the seasonings itself. Derek talking about the Zatarans. No, I ain't done with that Zatarans. It's better than Lawry's, man. I'm sorry. What you think, Sir Flame? Zatarans or Lawry's? Derek, he just stuck in that ethnic shit. Derek is stuck. Man, we gotta get that Lawry's, brother. Pick up that Lawry's, man. Oh man, they ain't get the Lawry's. Derek can identify that bottle even if the label's off of it. That big ass brown bottle. I know you got like a what? Gee, I know you got like a 25-ounce container of Lawry's and stuff, and then salt and then pepper, which in salt, a little container of salt. Because usually if you seasoning up foods, you don't need too much salt. If you got the Lawry's, you don't need no salt. That's the two seasons. I go to some people's house. That's the two seasons they got. Lawry's and pepper. That's it. I got the Lawry's. That's all you got, Lawry's. But if you look at my kitchen, I got so many spices. I got spices all over the place. I got 5 spice, which that's a Chinese spice. I got that. I'm out of the Thai seasoning. I got instead of ghost peppers, I got bird peppers. I got the bird peppers. Those are hot. I have that. I got the ancho. I got the cayenne. I got the chili powder. Right? Parsley. I got all of it. Got the oregano. Got the ginger. Got the garlic powder. Shoot. Yeah. I'm gonna put some seasoning together, baby. You have to when you don't eat meat. You got to season. If you're cooking your food. If not, you just chomp it down. That's it. Yeah, but Derek on that black, he spot that bottle when he come in your house. Derek go in the kitchen, he bringing in some groceries to help, for his girl to cook, or somebody's gonna cook. Derek walking there, Derek like looking for he walk in the kitchen looking for that big ass brown bottle. Where's that bottle at? So I don't care if it ain't got no label on. I just want to see that big ass brown bottle. So you want to see that? I want to see my Lars. Derek Bay said peanut butter, not the peanut butter, baby. Is that the the peanut butter? That's like a go-to. Oh, yeah. That's I don't know. I don't know if I've had those. I don't know. I might have had them. But one thing about peanut butter, man, I like to mess with peanuts that much. But if I have peanut butter, this is the honest truth. That for me, the 2 cookies that there's no replacement for is the homemade, hot out the oven chocolate chip cookies and the peanut butter cookies. Those are the 2 cookies that, I would rather have those, my mouth is gonna be watering more for those 2 hot out the oven or either warm out the oven than any other ones. Like the sugar cookies, I can eat those in a bag. It don't matter. You can give me a bag like sugar cookies and some of the other ones, like the oatmeal. I can eat those. Depends on the brand. Now that PP Farm is just too damn expensive, man. What you get? 6 cookies? Like 6 cookies for $10 or something? But even though they wrapped up, that shit is good. They kind of big. They big, but only 6. Like damn, they got to be on sale, brother. Tell you that you get that little pack. You know what I'm talking about, that little white pack like that. That PP Farm, that shit like that big. like a little bag. You can't even share those. You got to spend $30 to share them. $30, $40 to share those. Everybody got to have their own bag, or half a tray or something. Cause they're gonna want more than one. That's 2 or 3 a piece already. So you might as well just have somebody make them. Yeah, Zatarans doesn't taste like when you go to New Orleans. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't like all the instant stuff. I just think they do have, they have a pretty good seasoning. You might have to add a little bit to it, but that's the reason I use that type of stuff. Is like I'll get like, I have one now. I don't even know the name of it, but I think it might be shilling or something like that. But it's a Cajun, it's Cajun spices, and you read what's on there, right? So that way you know how much more you got to add. That just keeps you from having to have so many different containers in the house. So you got that one, but you might have to add a little bit more garlic. You might have to add your own red pepper, stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. But Zatarans, you can be against it, brother. I ain't mad at you. Derek said, I just use sea salt. Yeah, sea salt. There you go. Sir Flame says, sometimes I'll use it. Gives it to a different flavor, but light on it. Yep. Sir Flame right makes a chocolate chip or peanut butter. Yeah, peanut butter grandma cookies. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But those 2 cookies, man, those are like, to be honest, those kind of cookies are almost the type that should be unlawful to bag up, to mass produce, is the chocolate chip and the peanut butter. They should be almost outlawed. You should only be allowed to make somebody should have to know how to make those. And I know there's a lot of girls that don't know how to make shit, so I'm not, we kind of stuck. It's hard, man. Yeah, so girl, how you doing? She like you and stuff, but oh yeah, that's cool. I want to get to the business. I don't care about, certain stuff you already know what's up. But then you want to find out, so you like to go out and stuff, right? You want to eat and all that. So what do you cook at home? What you like to cook? And soon as she starts telling, I just buy like the instant whatever like that. That's already a deal breaker. For me, that's a deal breaker. If you don't have no dishes as a woman, I'm sorry. I ain't no chauvinist. Whatever, you can say what you want to. But I'm just saying, if you don't have no dishes as a woman, forget it. You have no dishes, just probably ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm not gonna be doing all the cooking. You gotta cook sometime. I don't know if I feel like teaching. That's the only way you can get around that. If you say, yeah, but I never really learned how to cook that good, but I'm open. I learned fast. You can teach me. Okay, that's cool. But if you don't say something like that, man, forget it. It's a wrap. Like, all right, we can go out. We can go out a little bit, but we ain't. That's about as far as we going. It's just out a little bit. Gotta be able to cook, man. I run into everybody who can't cook. So I promise you. They got 1 or 2 dishes, but man, I guess that works, but it gets kind of sad sometimes because you don't want to cook. It's like, damn, we having this shit again? I always ordering out. Oh, man. I remember, I forgot what home food tastes like at one point, man. I was like always eating out, like not even every weekend, every freaking day. Every day we was going to eat out. Like, I was like, oh, here we go, eating out again. Because I didn't want to cook. You don't know how to cook? So we just go out and eat. That's sad, though. Eating the restaurant food every day, that's not good. Sitting there waiting. The good thing about it, you ain't got no dishes to clean or nothing like that. Yep. Derek Bay said, or oatmeal raisin. See, you forgot about them ice, man. Y'all don't like them ice? That ice raisin? Oh, man. With that little white chocolate on top or whatever, and the raisin sticking up out of it. That used to be one of my favorites. Derek Bay said, you get like 3 cookies. Yeah. $10 for 3 cookies. I know. Can anybody afford that? You guys spend $100 to share cookies with everybody. That's what I'm saying. You spend $100, then you might as well just, feel me? You might as well have somebody make them. Make them. And I don't know if they make that one no more. They used to have that pack. I know which one. They used to have that one pack. They didn't have no cookies. They was huge, but that's like Derek Bay say, 3 cookies or whatever it is. Yeah, Surfing said I use both Zatarans. He gives that New Orleans home cooked smother type. There you go. You got to add it. I'm going to tell y'all another one. What you use, you use this like if you're going to make your beans and stuff. If you eating I don't know if you eat black eyed peas or pinto beans or red beans or rice, black, whatever. But use some, I think it's called Wrights. It's a smoke. So you use some of that smoke flavor in there. You don't, but they say you shouldn't use it all the time, because it might have some carcinogens or whatever. But they say that they don't 100% know. But use that, and that give you that open flame taste to it. And you can add that to, any of your other spices and stuff to smoke it up, especially if you don't feel like smoking everything. And a lot of people don't want to smoke everything. You don't want to put all your everything out on the smoker, your onions and all that and meat and stuff like that. So just get that, toss that up in there. Yep. Sir Funny say taste. Yeah. Get that taste in it, brother. Yep. Derek say, I told you, Eagle, unless you want to live outside with the birds and the animals, you can't let these women cook for you. Wow. Yeah. Oh shoot. Y'all be careful on the talking about the ixnay on the women talk. I don't know. I see my queen out there, Lala D out there. She said something. She got my hearts up good in my crown. There you go. Yeah. She finally showed her little butt up. She tell me I better have my butt in here, and so I was running right extra late, and I come in and she don't even show. She didn't show back up. She needed to be up in here. Yeah. Yeah, but that little liquid smoke worked though, brother. I told you. But Derek Bay said, I told you, Eagle, unless you want to live outside with the birds and the animals, you can't let these women cook for you. Yeah. It's getting worse and worse. I don't know. Lala D needs to. I don't know, Lala D. Maybe you need to mentor some of these younger girls or something like that. You gotta let them know, hey, men need to eat. That is the truth. And I don't care, even if a guy comes in and he starts running his mouth, I don't care what you say. That is if just something's wrong with you, that is the way to your soul and everything else inside of a household. That's your peace, I'm telling you. Everybody know that's the man's peace. A man's peace, if he ate so good where he's chewing food, he's trying to chew his tongue off, that's some good ass food. He ain't gonna forget that. Man, as a child, I still remember the best food. As a man girl, I still remember like the best food. You don't remember the best of anything else. But the best food, you can name that like quick. Everything else you got to think about. What about the best? I don't even know. But the best food, if I ask somebody right now, if you grew up in the Brown family, who made the best soup? Right, everybody know right away. Who made the best potato dish? It come up right away. Who made the best bean dish? It come up right away. Who made the best macaroni dish? Whether it be macaroni and cheese or what, it comes up right away. No matter what I ask you, you know who made it. You ain't sitting there struggling and thinking who made the best bread, like the fresh bread products. Who made the best? It's coming up right away. Who made the best rice stuff? It's coming up. Whoever made the best meat or whatever, best chicken, best anything. That shit's popping up quick. You like, that shit is registering like real quick. Name something else the best. And then you be like, I don't know. I can't even remember. But you ain't going to forget no food. Man, food stick with you. And the reason food stick with you is because the look of it, the taste of it, the smell of it, and the love that went into it because of the person who made it. That's why it stays like that. Yeah. But Derek, I ain't trying to get thrown out, man. I just look slow. You know what I mean? I look slow. Like I said, man, a lot of girls, they look too, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe Lala D can help us out. I don't know. Girls are, I don't even want to use the terms that they use. I'm not going to say thirsty or nothing like that, but I don't know. Girls be out there though, man. They'll jump on you quick. They're so tired of the young guys. You young guys is killing it for yourself. You guys doing too much. You're doing too much weak stuff and you're doing other stuff. And it just kills it for yourself. It kills it for yourself. And then guys like myself, see, we can't find the appropriate person. And I don't really care if it's young, older, or whatever, but I can't find the more appropriate person because these young girls is all mesmerized all the time. It's like, really? So you girls need to calm your asses down a little bit. But yeah, they need a life coach, a cooking coach like Lala. Lala D need to teach these girls. Grab a couple of them every once in a while. Just tell them, hey, this is what you got to be able to do. If you can cook, yeah, I'm telling you, man, men don't go that far when they know that you really can cook. Even if a guy was like kind of messing around, which I don't condone, but it's gonna happen. He's not what the stuff that you got. If you got family with him and you cook and his girl don't cook, he ain't going nowhere. Believe me, he ain't gonna live at restaurants. He's just not. He's not gonna be eating burgers and pizzas and shit like that all day, every day. He's gonna get tired of that shit. He's gonna make him snap. Yeah, Derek Bates, I eat just about every bean out there. Yep. And me, I'm on. I still think a lot of them might be hybrid because they mush up. Me, my favorite one. I tell you, you can make the same dish almost with every bean. You're right. But I use chickpeas, and that's the main one. They don't break down. They don't turn into mush. You can cook them all day, and they're gonna still be, nice and solid. That's one way I kind of tell like stuff that's been hybrid and stuff. It's just when it cooks like instantly. Like onions can take a lot of damage. Believe it or not, you can cook onions not necessarily on high heat, but you can cook onions for a long time. I'm talking about hours. You can cook onions. A lot of people don't know that you can cook onions for a long time because they go through different stages. And then the last stage of an onion, when you cook it, I know I'm giving cooking lessons, is the caramelization of onions, in which it takes a lot of onions too, though. You might need 5 pounds of onions to have a decent amount of caramelized onions at the end. And that's when they're brown, they're not burnt, and they're sugary. All the sugar came out on them and all that, I know about food, man. I know about a lot of little things, man, because when you have to live the experience, you have to do everything. People wonder how I can do everything. I'm like, because I ain't had no choice. You have to do everything. You got to be good at everything. You have to. And a lot of people feel like they can't or they just don't, but you actually have to be good. And you don't know who's going to be around you all your life. You don't know who's going to be around. You don't know what's going to make them abandon you that's not pessimistic, just because that's how life is. Oh, they got this new thing and you don't want to get into it. I don't want to do it. Okay, go do your thing. Yeah, Derek Bailey said, peace to the queen at Lala D. Derek Bailey said, can you cook at Lala D? Lala crying. Lala D said, Derek Bailey, yeah. See, my proudest dishes are stews. There you go. See, that's right up my alley. See, Lala had me fat. I'll be all fat and happy and stuff sitting around. So Lala, you gonna make some of that stew? Yep. Be sitting around the pot. She'd be like, get your ass out of here, Cynthia. Get your ass out the kitchen. You hanging out with the pot. Hey, that's my favorite. When I was a baby, that's my favorite room was the kitchen. The kitchen when my grandmother, somebody was in there cooking. That's my favorite room. So I'll bring me a chair in there. What you doing? Be asking all kind of sweet questions and shit. You be so nice. Yeah, what you making? You use your baby voice and all that. When you little, you get away with that shit. You use your baby voice and you in the kitchen. That's the only way you can stay in the kitchen anyway. Is by, hugging up to your grandma's, hanging on to the apron or something like that and hugging up to your grandma. They don't kick you out when you hug up to them. They kick you out like little girls. Your sisters always get kicked out the kitchen because they snooping and shit. Get your ass up out of here. But look, you're a little guy. Little man ain't gonna get kicked out the kitchen because he hugged up with his grandma or his mom, hanging on the apron or whatever. You ain't getting kicked out. But little girls just come in there sassing and what you making there, saying something stupid and always get thrown out. And I'm not talking bad about girls. I'm just little girls. Yeah. Lala D said my father made the best fried foods, hands down. Yeah. And we ain't gonna be talking about food all day. Y'all ain't gonna have me all hungry and stuff, biting my lip off. My mother made the best stew. There you go. Soup. I love soup. If you can make a good, especially if you can make a soup without all the meat and all that. If you can make a good, my favorite soup, if you make it good, is squash. If you can make it a creamy squash soup without the milk, you gotta use something else. So I'm giving you a hint. That touched my heart. If it's seasoned well, and see what you do is blend it nice and creamy, but then you got the whole vegetables in there still. So part of it's creamy, and then you got the pieces of, you got the onion in there, you got the, you got the garlic in there, you got the, I'll eat a little celery every once in a while. Maybe some kale and stuff in there, and then you have the chopped up squash in there and all that. Oh man, bell peppers, red bell peppers. Whoo! I'm bad when it comes to soup though, man, because I eat too much soup. I eat a half a pot of soup. I eat a whole half a pot of soup. Really, I'm like, I'm gonna put. I think I got a lot of soup to put away. No, I don't. I'm gonna kill that pot of soup. Pot of soup don't have a chance. So where you at, pot of soup? I'm about to. You done. Like that there, yep. A lot of these said my sister made the best New York style cheesecake. Said, I'm talking baby watching. Look at her. Hell, Lala D. She having those food flashbacks. Good to talk about it though. We need to have that food. Yeah. Derek Spade said I would tell you also when food is good, when you have stains all over your shirt and you don't care and you wear them like battle wounds. That's some good food. You right about that, brother. I got you. When you don't put the napkin on, you don't get that big napkin up there or a towel or something where you don't even care. You say, I don't care. I know I'm going to have food all over. When somebody even tell you, see, that's what they do too, Derek. They tell you that you got food on your face. You know you got soup all over the side of your face. I know. Shit, I was in there fighting. Me and that soup was in there fighting. Food all up in your hair, all over your clothes. He right. Got your white Air Force Ones on and still ain't got a spot on it. Man, I done tore up some food so bad I done probably had every spot on my body. Every piece of clothing I had on had something on it, and I didn't care. And you know soup is good, like stew and soup, when you can't even let that shit cool down. That's when you know it's good. When you can't let it cool down a little bit, where you blowing and stuff, and you hitting that spoon like, you hitting that slurp with the spoon, that's some good ass soup. When you can't even wait. You can't wait. You'll scald your stomach if soup and shit is too good. Yep. But Derek stupid Lala. Yeah, he right though. But Derek baby, she cried. Yeah, Derek baby said yeah. He said you have to cook them slow, the caramelized onions. Yeah, it take forever, man. I hardly ever get there. I'm impatient with onions because they taste so damn good, even at the grilled stage. If you just saute them, they're good there. They're good raw. They're good at any stage, onions. You can't name a stage, except for rotten, that onions ain't good. Steamed, baked, grilled, fried, no matter what. My favorite is caramelized, but it just takes too damn long. You gotta be careful. You gotta be watching. You gotta be watching that shit. Turn it over. But once they get brown all over, you good. Then you're like, okay, just slow cook them. Like, oh wow. But you don't have nothing left. You filled the whole pot up. Now you got like a cup. And you start off with 8 cups. Now you got 1 cup. But it's concentrated though, all the sugar and all that. But it flavors everything, colors everything. And that's how they make that soup too, that French onion. But I think that a lot of times they use like a beef base or something like that when you make that French onion or whatever. Yeah. Look at Lala D. She said, oh, she put the turkey neck. There you go. She still messing with that meat, but at least she on turkeys though. She on turkey neck. But but I know exactly what she said. My best soup is lima beans. She said I use turkey necks or turkey wings. There you go. She using necks and wings. What about the thighs? You can use the thighs. They got the thighs. The smoked ones. They got them smoked thighs. You use that. Yeah. They're crying. Yeah, so with Pac-Man, so the issue was, the bottom line was, the reason that Pacquiao cannot really be the greatest. Now, this is the reason he can't. He's the greatest right now. But the reason he can't be the greatest of all times is because it's too late. It's too late for him to have the whole earth appeal. See, Ali had the earth appeal at the time. Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, not Sugar Ray. Well, Sugar Ray Leonard had the earth appeal, but not to the extent that Muhammad Ali did. Sugar Ray Robinson had the earth appeal, but still not to the extent of Muhammad Ali. Because Ali was not really forced on the people. Like Sugar Ray Robinson was more or less forced on the people. Like, yeah, They got this welterweight. They're just killing everybody. So we went over to Europe. Of course, everybody knew about them. Everybody knew about them. But because, and see, this is the thing. I don't want to go political, but a lot of things that we do here and that people see, especially on this YouTube, they take that to heart when they see it. Our newscast, when it goes anywhere in the world, they take that for heart about the Americans. So they think the American people are one way. And they protest overseas about shit that happens over here. They bring it up because if you listen to their broadcast, they bring up stuff. Oh, we don't want the same kind of shit that happened to Floyd over here in England or whatever else. We got our own problems, and they bring it up everywhere. All the discrimination. So what brought Muhammad Ali to the greatest was not that he was super fast, not that he was a super great heavyweight, but that people seen the news and they felt his struggle a lot more than they feel other people's struggles. I know there may be an argument, but I usually don't get arguments in here. Yeah. You see what I mean? And Derek bringing up that spinach. But I say one thing. Now, I'm going to tell you something about spinach. Even though we talking about Ali and Pacquiao, I can multitask. I can go back and forth. One thing about spinach, man, the best spinach I ever had was this African style spinach. Don't ask me how they made it. Don't ask me. I know they had some. They had like some chicken in there or something like that. No, even though I don't eat chicken, my niece gave me some of this spinach. That I don't know what it was. Her boyfriend had made or something like that. African, big ass pot too. I'm like, make a big pot of spinach like that, all fresh, and cooked down like you said, real cooked. But it was so good, man. I'm telling you, man. I could have chewed my lips off, man, eating that spinach, man. It's always good to try, other food, like other foods from different parts. Especially if you don't eat certain stuff, it will bring. I mean, you see what I mean? Because it will. That way you can incorporate another way of spicing up your food. Don't just do stuff one way because you get tired of it and then you won't do it no more. I'm always thinking of new ways I can do stuff like with the pizza. I'm in such a cool ass place, man. It's hard for me to move. I want to move next door to Lala D, but it's hard. I can't move next door to her. I want to, but my area is just so lit. It's just the perfect area, man. I just go 2 blocks, and I get my fuel. I know another 1 block. I get my pizza and stuff made. I bring my own stuff to them. They make my pizza with my ingredients. They have no problem with it, and they don't even really charge me nothing. And I get a free drink with that. My tire shop is like a half a mile away, or something like that. Groceries is like a half a mile away. Everything's in walking distance where I'm at right now. So it's like the perfect spot. A lot of my working spots that I work at is like a half a mile to a mile away from me. It's like, wow. I'm just like right here. I don't have to, but then I have to go out of town too though. But I save by not having to go out of town every day. See? But most people can't. They can't say that, and they don't just like that. But a lot of people hate their location. Man, I got to go so far to get in town. Some people live just so far out, and especially if you turn it to suburbia night, then there's nobody's, that's nobody's fault but yours. Nobody told you to move 10, 20 miles out, because it take you forever to get into the city. Once you get to the city, the traffic is gonna be in slow motion, and you already drove for like 45 minutes. You already know. But if you can squeeze your ass in the city somewhere to where everything is real nice and close to you, good. So it don't even matter if you going half a mile. Don't matter how much of a traffic jam they got, because you can walk half a mile or a quarter of a mile. Shit, you can walk. Take a bike or something. You don't have to be stuck. But you way out there. There go half of your day right there. Derek said, like when you cook that spinach, it shrink all up. Yeah, spinach gets way down. Derek said, was it spicy? No, brother, it wasn't. It was, I'm going to put it like this. It was spicy in the, so you could say spicy. It had a lot of spices in it. Just the right amount of spices. It was mild, no heat. It didn't have the heat. Because some people think spicy means heat or spicy. So spicy means you got some flavor in it. And some people hate spice. Like flavor, just salt. Salt, that's it. No pepper, just salt. I can't just eat with just salt. And yes, you get all the flavors from the food. Now, you can use just salt if the food is so flavorful. Now, if you're using stuff, like say for instance, you're using ginger, you're using onions, you're using garlic and stuff like that, you're using chives, you're using bell peppers, and you're using all that type of stuff, yeah, then you don't need to, there's no added spice you need. No. All you need is a little bit of salt. But if you're not, you got to have that, you got to have some spice up in there. Yeah, Derek Bay said a lot of other cultures don't eat a lot of meat also. Yeah, that's right though. No, but we don't eat the meat. We never did. We didn't start off eating meat. We ate just like the animals ate. We didn't eat all the meat and stuff like that. But that's a whole different subject. The meat and all that. I know people still get mad. Oh, we supposed to eat meat and all that. No, okay. Well, you eat your meat. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. But I challenge you to just don't eat meat for a whole year and then see if you can eat meat again. Then you're gonna be, and then or just don't eat fruit for a year and see if you can eat fruit again. Which one you think is gonna be easier to eat? Fruit. You're gonna be like, I can still eat fruit. But you stay off of that stuff, you won't even be able to. You'll be able to. There's something's gonna happen to you to where even when you smell it. And I'm not saying not all meats, because some meats is already disguised with their, if you smoke them and stuff, sometimes they got that, they're disguised and everything, so you can still take it. But I smell all those little sacrifices around here. I'm like, I can smell it. I just don't like it. But to each his own. I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I'm not gonna dislike you or nothing like that. I'm still gonna like you. Because we all do different stuff. Simple as that. I just need Lala to teach somebody how to make her lima beans and how to make her soups, her stews. So she makes stews and stuff. She need to teach. She got to teach these young girls up. She need to say, girl, you need to come by the house every once in a while and learn how to make this up. It's gonna make the guy more happy. I'm telling you. You gotta give him them lessons and stuff. Because we all have to teach, man. You might not think you're here to teach. You just think you're here for yourself. No, you're not here to be by yourself. And you're not here to just gain information and then for that information to just go in one ear and out the other and you don't have to share it. No, you're obligated whether you think you're obligated or not. Why take it and just be greedy with it and hold it to yourself? That's why I have to share a lot of things. I share and then you guys get it. That's it. I know I have to share. I'm going to try to hold on to it for myself. Because people will ask me serious questions and stuff all day long. They always ask me like something real serious. And I got to be for real when I answer it. You know what I mean? I can't hide it. I got to share it with you. Because that's what we're here for. So we're here, we got to share it. So you here? Share everything. Share all the good things you got with people. All the negative and all the bad stuff is already there. But back to Pac. Because I know you guys, some of you get it. You guys get it. You guys are smart anyway. So with Pac and Ugas, we'll get into that a little bit because we know we got that the fight coming up. So heard that Ugas might have a torn bicep, or it appears that he might have a torn bicep. I wish both of them good fortune. I don't really hope that anybody gets hurt, but somebody has to be knocked out in this fight. I mean, from my estimation, in the Earl Spence fight, somebody had to be knocked out. So in this fight, somebody has to be knocked out too. You can't change it now. You can't be, I'm knocking Earl Spence out, but I'm not knocking out Ugas. So Manny has to knock Ugas out. So we're looking at like 3-4 rounds or whatever if Manny's going to get it done. So Manny got to knock him out. But back to the whole comparison, the greatest. Now, What keeps him from being the greatest, like I said, when I summarize it, is more or less the whole world view. Because if the world sees everything that's happening to you, like the world when Ali was growing up, they seen him rejecting, the Vietnam War, him speaking out on injustices and stuff like that. He was telling them that we fight in all the wars. If you heard one of his, I don't even know where he was at. I don't know if he was on campus or he was just doing an interview with somebody on news, but I remember it vividly. I'm like, God dang, Ali going off. He said, we done fought in all your wars. He said, we still the N word. I was like, God dang. And it was truthful. It was truthful. Because you have no right to call a king or a queen anything other than a king or a queen. The people that the original people, oh, here we go. They got ego started. So the original people, you have no business calling them anything other than what they are, the original people. So if anything, if you want to separate, in which I don't care if somebody gets mad of the separation, but if you want to separate truthfully, then if you have somebody that's a subspecies of somebody else, then you can't call them the same thing. So you just got to start talking about it. You can't say man and woman and all that. So in other words, you got a Superman here and you got a Superwoman here. So, or superhumans, you got to call them superhumans. Something, sorry. In order for the humans to compete with the superhumans, they have to change their whole outlook. They have to change their vision. They have to change their prejudices. They have to change that. And yes, you just don't compete. Because because you let the superhumans see that you're nothing but viciousness, then you're the opposite of what they are. But then some of them, they turn the same way. And it might sound like cold talk, but this absorb it, children. You have to absorb what I'm saying. You have to absorb it. That's the whole point. Is that you take the world view, different worlds, like the European world, Chinese world, Japanese world, Filipino world, American world, South American world, stuff like that. So even if you take over these different worlds, the whole earth does not have a view of you. The earth doesn't. Oh, they may a little bit. They do, but you're not going to reach, you don't reach all the corners. Especially when you had even your president even recognized and bet on Muhammad Ali when Ali fought against Frazier. And I forgot who the president was right back then. I don't know if it was Marcus. I think it was before Marquez. I think it was before him, the president. I just can't think of who it was at that time, but I know that even he was pulling for Ali. So when you look at it like that, and you do have a fighter, even up on the screen, you have a fighter that was a great Filipino fighter too. But he wasn't like an earth figure. It's a difference between a world figure and an earth figure. Some people don't get that. They don't understand that. Because you have different worlds, You got animal world, insect world. You got different worlds, but you got the earth. So the earth is different. And we see that, okay, the Manny, he's done a lot. Like certain fighters he beat up on that we didn't think he would, that he would win. And then he had maybe a couple of controversial fights that we thought maybe could have went, one way or another. Or maybe somebody wasn't fighting him. And which always sticks in my mind is the Joshua Clottey fight. Because I've never seen a fighter not get hit and look as beat up as Manny did. I'm like, this just didn't make sense. If you go and look at the before and after pictures of Joshua Clottey versus Manny Pacquiao, Joshua Clottey was not allowed to fight. That's supposedly all the interview, all this stuff, all his interview, all his what he said about that fight is not allowed to be said anymore. I'll bring it up, but all that stuff is hidden. But Manny looked like he went through hell in that fight. And Clottey didn't have nothing on him. I'm like, there's something odd about that. And there's just some oddities sometime in boxing. Sometimes there's oddities where there's fights that's just stopped. Um, take nothing away from Manny Pacquiao because of the knockout that Marquez hit him with. So we can't take away from that. And so I'm not going to take away that he got knocked out by Marquez because they had some battles. But not fighting Floyd right away to maybe we would have seen two of those fights and maybe you would have had a better chance of getting him on a second fight, maybe. Or maybe he would have mopped you on the second fight. We never know. So a lot of things that, even though the greatness is because of the different divisions and different titles and all that, that's pretty great in itself. But is it great enough to make you the greatest? Did you do some things that maybe you shouldn't have done in order to be the greatest? Now, so I summarized what I meant about the whole world view, but some people won't look at it like that. And I don't want you to get stuck on like being like a fanboy, fangirl, to where you get stuck on the Manny stardom, to where you just think, oh yeah, can't nothing. He's just so wonderful. Yeah, please do your research on in and outside the ring. Right? And this to put it in perspective also is the openness of even the Ali family. Now we might not like some of it, Derek Bailey, but even the openness of his family, when you look at it, is you think Manny's family will be just as open? Are they? See, you got to look at that. You know, we know he cares about his people, but would there be anybody outside of his culture that's actually in his family? And I'm not saying he don't have nobody outside of culture, but in his direct family with his children and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for more of a person when you find out that they go against certain principles and stuff, but what's allowed in their family is anybody still allowed, to come into the family. Now, this is not something. It's not a debate of me trying to condone it or go against it, or anything like that. I'm just saying, circumstance, a lot of times, create what can be great and what not, what cannot be as great. Like when they say they went on the moon, is there another accomplishment out in space, so-called space, that they accomplished that's bigger than that? Whether you believe they went or not. So this is not a conspiracy thing. It's not a debate of whether they went or not. But if you look at it on paper, is there something greater out in space that they have done? Like surveyed the Earth or something? What is it? But they've been surveying the Earth, since the 50s and probably before that. 60s is when it was the biggest, because that's when they had the Blackbird, and that was more or less a spy plane. It was just like supersonic. It could just one of the fastest planes in history, and still probably still in the top 5, if it's not the top 1. I know they would try to retire it, but yeah, that's where the surveillance and all the pictures came from. There's a plane flying that fast where you couldn't shoot rockets at it. Yeah. Okay, go and check out the weigh-in, man. Derek Bailey said they about to have that weigh-in. Yeah, we know that weigh-in coming up. Yep. So I don't know, you guys' thoughts. I know Sir Flame was the first one up in here. You was, yeah, I'm up in here. You talking about Manny, but Sir Flame ain't saying that now. He probably been bounced. Sir Flame be sneaking out. He put up the rules and he disappear on us all the time. Well, he may, because I never see him say salute at the end, but he still might be up in here. But yeah, it's always, the thing about it is it's always circumstance or error. Like right now, like when they had the 9/11, and then we went back and we had supposedly attacked, Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, and Iran. We attack everybody because of they pose certain threats and stuff like that. But I'll tell you the truth, Even without our military, I don't feel threatened by no country. I don't feel threatened. I don't know what the paranoia is about. I don't feel threatened by all these countries. Why? Why should I feel threatened? This is our land. We never felt threatened from nobody. And don't get me serious about it, because I'll tell you what our biggest threat was. And you're not going to like that. Because then I'm going to be anti something. Well, I'm not anti anything. I'm anti, the only thing I'm anti, I said not anything, but I'm not anti anything. I'm anti evil. That's it. Anybody who mess with me know that's what I am. I'm anti evil. I'm not anti anything else. You know what I mean? If you do something, if you do it, it's evil. So just the word evil itself, no. But you doing evil things, and that might be a vague statement. But for me, a lot of things is evil that we accept. No, I'm like, that's evil. That's cruel and that's evil. So I'm against that. That's what you're supposed to hate. Yeah. Yeah, okay, you know about the plane. Yeah, Derek said, yeah, every time they fly it, it flies faster. Yeah. It gets to the point where they had to compensate for, I forget what they call it. I think it's wind shear. Where they get these pockets. They hit these pockets and stuff. And I think it would probably be in the stratosphere somewhere that they hit these pockets where there's just no air resistance. And that plane be going, all of a sudden it hits sideways. Yeah, they had to do a lot of things to compensate for that. Yeah, it just hit sideways, like no air, and all of a sudden you flying like this instead of straight. Yeah, that's a bad boy though. I don't even know if I've ever witnessed it, taking off. I may have, because I used to be, and plus I go to an air base every once in a while. I don't know their schedule. They don't have a schedule like planes do, and commercial planes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's has always been one of my favorite things to do, is watch them take off and land, man. I'm talking like the fast ones, like the fighter jets and stuff like that. I love it. It's just too damn noisy though. Yeah. Derek Bay said they still use it as a spy plane. It's been fast forever. Derek Beatty got his eyes open. He said 100%. He said, don't say it, Eagle. I think they flew from New York to London in an hour or hour and a half. Yeah, that's too fast, man. That's fast as I don't know what. What, huh? Hour and a half you there? A regular flight, you still on the runway. You just barely getting up in the air in an hour. Take you forever. Because the flights don't take as long as them getting ready to get your ass off the runway, if you think about it. Even at whatever they're driving, 500, 600 miles an hour, it don't take you that long. Part of that time is you on the runway messing around. Like, we gonna get off the runway? That's where a lot of your time is. Yeah, that shit's noisy, man. Be cracking your ears. Man. I remember them things taking off and landing, man. Whew. I used to go watch them as a kid, It's a long ass ways from where I lived there, but I used to watch them, man. We used to ride bikes and stuff out there, and just go watch the planes and stuff take off, man. It's amazing, man. That's one thing man has accomplished to me that's still kind of amazing is flight, the supersonic flight and stuff like that. That's just crazy. That they can get up there, come back down like that. Oh, okay. Derek Bay said when I was in the Marine Corps, he said I was in a fighter attack squad in El Toro. Yeah, the Bulls, huh? He said it's closed down now. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I was in, it's all over. It's all over with, man. They closed down a lot of units. They started up all new stuff ever since, when Vietnam was over with, they started new ones. Anytime a war is over with, they close out and they start back up. Because I was in 7th Division, and 7th Division it's more recreational now. It's not serious like it used to be. With seventh division, I think it's up in Washington now, and they're supposed to bring it back. And it's gonna. I think that's what I was reading. I think they're supposed to bring it back, but when they bring it back, it's gonna be more of a like a mascot for the Army, something like that. You know, because I know everybody has like a first. You know, like the first usually don't go nowhere. I know 81st. I know we had 81st. You know, a lot of people like collect those patches. I was too late. I should have been collecting them. You know, just to have to pass on or whatever. But shoot, I seen a jacket where somebody had a jacket where they had all the different patches from different units and different forces over from World War II. So I know that's gonna be worth a lot of money right there. All the different patches, yeah. So you got the 7th. I was in 64th because I was in ordnance, so I was in 64th Ord, and then I was in a different that was when that's when I wasn't in the world, and then I had a different combat unit I was in, and I even worked in SAC too. I worked in SAC too, so. Okay, Derek said being in California helped me with dealing with the corpse. Yep, thumbs up. Yep. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing Cali help you out with a lot of stuff, though, man. You got the sun and everything. At least you got something to look forward to. You got something to do. I don't know if I had to choose whether being on a white sandy beach, training and stuff. That gets boring after a while too. People think that's wonderful, but shit, after a while that heat and shit get to you. You got that white sandy beach, but sometimes that white sandy beach is blazing hot, burning your damn feet. I don't know. I like being in the mountains. Perfect place. Perfect place would be on a ledge, grassy field, like way above the ocean, and forest right behind you. That's always been my fantasy spot. That's always been like my fantasy spot where I could take a trail down to go to the beach and I can just climb right back up and be right back up in the mountains. That's always been that's my fantasy spot. If I can come down and hit a road like after, maybe 3-4 miles or more, maybe even 5 miles, hit like a main road, but I go up the road. I'm 5 miles away from everybody. Like half a mile from the beach or whatever. Walk down to the beach, quarter of a mile, walk down to the beach, and then once I go back up the trail, I'm right back up there in the mountains. That's my fantasy spot. Okay, Derek Bay said that's when I learned how the military worked on a different plane. Pilots would crash a $30 million jet, and it never hit the news. Oh yeah, they was always tearing some shit up. But you know what? The whole thing about that, when they used to tear up those jets and shit, is they briefed up. They told us what happened. Yeah, they told us exactly what happened. They said that I never really witnessed them, but they said, hey, yeah, those pilots go through all that damn training. They have to maintain that jet because they would rather something happen to that pilot than that jet. And messing up a jet can get your ass court-martialed. Just like not packing your chute right can get your ass court-martialed. You can get your ass court-martialed sitting there messing up, and you ain't gonna get paid either. They don't want to pay your ass after you done destroyed a $30 million jet. Your dumb ass, oh yeah, I was listening to the instructions here. Yeah, I went through, I got there. Yeah, I did great in the simulator to get your ass out there and crash. Simulator is not the same thing. Yeah. They say, yes, a nice, even temperate climate. Not too damn hot, not too damn cold. Yeah, right in the middle. Perfect. A place somewhere that probably exists on Earth, but nobody lives there because it's probably somewhere out where it's not accessible to where the temperature is always Just think about it. When your temperature is always in between like 65 and like between 65 and 80 all the time. That's perfect. Between 65 and 80 all the time? That's perfect, man. You ain't doing no better than that. But like I said, my fantasy spot is just like I want it all. That's almost like wanting it all. I didn't ask for no farmland. I just want the woods behind me. I want to be able to go up into the woods when I want to and hit the beach when I want to. That's it. And plus, I already got the field out there, so I'm going to have all the wild fruits and stuff out there. Shit, you ain't even got to do nothing. If you got fertile enough land, you just take a handful of random seeds and throw them out there. You just throw them out there, you're going to have, and you're going to start, you're going to start a farm off without even thinking. You only got to take care of it. Yep. Oh, okay, yeah. Derek said, I mean, pilots would die also, but nothing on the news. No, we didn't have them dying like that, but we had. I think we had a couple of crashes, but they ejected. Yeah, they ejected, but we had a couple of them, but they just ejected. Wasn't like they didn't get killed. Even during some of the experiments and stuff, they used to show us we had to watch all that shit. We had to watch like the experiments with the flying saucers and all that shit. We had to watch all that bullshit. No, I'm not disclosing nothing. Yeah, yeah. They used to bother me so much, man, that they don't bother me as much. They still bother me a little bit. They bother you for a while because I had somebody tell me, "Oh no, they don't track you after a while when you get out the military. That they don't track you from what you know. They don't track you, but they do. I'm sorry, they do. So they can stop that BS talking about they don't. Anytime if your file is sealed, nobody can take a look at it. Okay, what that mean? That means something, right? Because I had my file. I had tried to get information before. I can get it, but the person that was trying to get the information, they said, no, I got to go through some more security steps before. I can't get it. I got to get somebody else to get your information because I can't get it. I said, okay, yeah, okay. Derek Bates, I remember one crashed in 29 Palms, and it was loaded with napalm. Damn, had us out there cleaning that shit up. Look at Derek said, yeah. Of course they get the grunts and shit out there. They always got, that's what they do, man. They always got us out there cleaning up, the KP and shit, asking for volunteers. I need 2 people. I need 4 people. Once they need 4 people, that's it. You gotta be like Duck and start doing push-ups or something. All that poison and flammable shit everywhere. And shit, I've been places where they found shit. I've been in other countries where they found bombs and stuff. They found old bombs and shit. You walking around them like it ain't nothing. Old ordinances everywhere. And they got them in California. They got like unexploded whatchamacallits over here. They say that's a lie down there. It's a damn lie. Yeah. Like they don't be bothered. Yeah. They always asking you, or they always trying to monitor somebody or something. Get your ass out of here. Yeah. And on your phone, I hope you know on your phone takes pictures of your ass when you cut it on. If just in case you didn't know that, if you got a smartphone, it takes pictures of you when you cut it on. These people have all of our information, man. They have to do no research on us. They have us everywhere, every forum, everything we do all day long. Only thing you can do that they don't know is when you sleep. And they probably get a hint on that because they know what time you turn your computers off or you stop answering phone calls. So they know that. They know what time you answer phone calls, what time you get up. They know your pattern without you doing anything. Yeah. Derek Bay said, military take care of their own messes. He said, that's true. He said, I need some volunteers like you. Can't say no, yeah. You can't. You ain't say nothing. No. Yep. They get your ass. Start doing push-ups. One, two, three, four. Shit. Just calling me and stuff. They used to get. They didn't volunteer us. They just load us up on the cattle truck and shit. They just load us up and then just take off with us. Ain't nothing worse than having to clean weapons and shit when you wasn't the one firing them, but you got to clean the whole armory and shit. Who clean all the weapons? Man, please, you supposed to do that shit after you come from the range and shit, man, or wherever you coming from. You supposed to do that shit, man. I used to hate that. That's boring as hell. I don't know. Some people love it. Oh, with their weapons and shit, they all happy. I'm like, man, I ain't with that shit, man. I ain't cleaning up somebody else's shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, Derek Bray said I still had to check in once a year for 4 years after I got out. Yep. See, but they'll tell people some bullshit. They'll tell somebody some old bullshit, but it's just not truthful, man. Yeah. But we're gonna see. Did you go back and watch the weigh-in, Derek Bailey, or have they weighed him in yet? They gonna make weight. I just hope Ugas is okay and I hope it's a good fight because that's the only one you're gonna look forward to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm probably not gonna get it. I'm just probably not gonna get it. I'm probably just not. I may at the last minute. I had to feel real wonderful. Like if money is just rushing in while I'm out tomorrow, if I just got money just rushing in, they just like, yo, here. I want to get this, get that, get that. Oh, shit. Then I'll probably get it. It's not going to harm me then. I'm like, okay. But I got to make up for a lot of stuff, man. I got to make up stuff because, like I said, I got my store. I got a lot of new stuff I put in my store, man. Waiting for y'all. Still waiting on y'all to support me. I want to put some of my other stuff in the store too, though. But I know it's going to be like one piece here. That shit just going to disappear so quick. I got to find a way to do it because I don't do a lot of duplicates. There's one. Because nobody can say, oh, I got one like that. No, you don't. There was only one made. And I know people like to have their own personal stuff. Everybody don't want somebody having what they got. And so that's what it is. But I appreciate all the new people, all the people that came in. I appreciate you coming in to at least listen to the discussion. But you can always give us your words on what's going on. You can always, talk to us and let us know how you feel about, if Pacquiao being the greatest. You can always have your debate with us, and maybe you could clarify a lot better than I did. Maybe you have another angle of why I say that he's in the discussion. Maybe even in top 5. Maybe. I can't even say that he's in top 5, but I know he's one of the greatest. I can say that. I can say that with confidence. But just being the greatest, yeah. Because anytime you're great, you usually take over a whole, world stage, or the earth stage. And most athletes don't actually take over a whole earth stage. They might take over like a world stage. Like, for instance, I'll tell you who took over earth stage. Believe it or not, and a lot of people might not see this. Allen Iverson, basketball player, he took over a whole earth stage. And a lot of people, you won't get that. A lot of people won't think he did, but he actually did. It's probably unbeknownst to a lot of people, but he took over a whole earth stage. Right? And that's just naming basketball players. Of course, Michael Jordan took over a whole earth stage. So those are the elite athletes. And probably even LeBron James. I'm quite sure if he hasn't, he's pretty close. And I'm quite sure that Kobe Bryant did. And there's been other players and stuff. But that's one sport. That's a earth sport. See, basketball is now an earth sport. But football it was harder for a person to take over like a whole Earth stage. You had to do a whole lot of political things to take over Earth stage as a um, football player, even baseball, because baseball is not, it's not an Earth sport. It's becoming an Earth sport. So anybody who's taken over Earth stage as a baseball player, that's a great. Boxing has always been an Earth sport, so that's why you can take that. You take over a earthly view of it, and that's how you become great because the whole Earth knows you. I hope you guys are seeing my point on this a lot better because it's going to be position, what position you can actually take versus what you're in. Those things go together. I'm in this, but I'm only going to be seen here. So if you're only going to be seen, no matter if you're the best in the world, but if you're not going to be seen by the whole Earth, then you can't. Your great status is not. Not going to be earthly great. You're just going to be worldly great within your world or whatever you do. Like a lot of people don't know, or a lot of places don't believe in gambling. So, like the greatest poker player ever, which they call a sport now. I don't know how it's a sport, but you're not going to be known like earthly. In your world of poker, you're going to be known, but being known on the outside of what your expertise is, that's when you become earthly great. I guess I broke it down. Try to break it down a little bit more. Yeah. Everybody say exactly, Eagle. He said, don't even know where you're going. He said, let me go check. Okay, they're about to come out now. He said, yeah, I agree. Ugas 147 on the nose. Yeah, I knew that Ugas was gonna come in. Pacquiao always come in lighter than everybody. Yeah. Pacquiao, he a little guy. Ugas big, man. Ugas is big. Manny's a little guy. He was the same thing. He would have came in at 146 against Earl. Earl would have came in at 147 on the nose, or 136.9 or something like that. Probably 147 though. Yeah. But Sir Flames thinks it's going to be like easier, harder fight against Ugas. I just think it's just going to be. It's not necessarily going to be harder. It's just not going to look as good when he goes on offense. But like I said, Earl Spence is a different animal because Earl Spence, what he does is he turns you into a defensive fighter. Once he turns you into if you can last 7 rounds without turning into a defensive fighter, you can beat Earl. But if you go up to 4 rounds, 5, and once you start 4th round, once you start turning defensive, it's over with. Even decision is going to be over with. But if you can avoid turning defensive, if you start defensive in the beginning and you're doing a good job, you're okay. That's why I think Ugas will do better against Earl than some other fighters. Because you start off defensive, you might do better. You might not. He might be happy like, okay, you're gonna get beat up from round 1 to round 12. So that could happen, or either you might do a little bit better. But if after 4 rounds Earl makes you get defensive, like Carol Burke, you start winking your eye and ducking and hiding and start throwing a little, hiding in the corner punches like you don't want to throw the punch, it's over with. Yeah. Who gets ripped up? He got his girl with him, D. D to the Bailey, he got his girl with him. Yeah, but we're going to see what Pacquiao do, man. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the fight that much, but yeah. So Pacquiao, yeah, you got to go out there and you got to get that. One of y'all got to get the KTFO. And I know a lot of people just don't want to. They don't want to hear it, and they don't want it to happen that way. But somebody has to be knocked out in this fight, and that's going to help show us the greatness. Because if we can't afford to see anything that's lackluster. We can't afford a split decision. We can't afford a majority decision or just a unanimous decision by 1 point. We can't see that. We have to see like somebody has to get knocked down a couple. If it's not a knockout, somebody has to get beat up a little bit, knocked down 3 or 4 times during the fight, and it has to be a battle. And I know you don't want to see Manny in the battle, but he has to be in the battle in this one, and that keeps him in the conversation. Because if it's not, then that takes him out of the conversation, and people want him to sit his ass down. They can be like, Manny, hang them shits up. They're gonna be like, it's over, son. It's over. Sit your ass down. It's over with, son. And that's the way that everybody's gonna look at it. Not actually everybody, because we got uh, the Pacquiao fans. I don't call Pacquiao fans. I don't call them Pactards. I know a lot of people call them Pactards and everything else. I mean, some of you know about boxing. Some of you don't know a damn thing about boxing, but that goes for fans of any boxer. If you're a boxing fan of a certain fighter, I try to keep away from being like an actual fan of the fighter. I just enjoy, boxing, and I like certain fighters for what they do. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna become your fan like that. It takes a lot for me to become your fan, because you guys don't do enough. Like I said, I'm used to, and Derek Beatty's probably used to it too. We're used to things being on athletes being on the earthly stage, not just a worldly stage. And if you're not on there, even man, like I said, man, if you guys aren't on that earthly stage, it's hard to just go for you. But he can become even greater. Like, he will put himself, if he's not in somebody's top 5 of greatest, he can accomplish that. But it's a hard task, because in my estimation, he has to really do something like really devastating to, in order for him to like cement. He's already cementing, going down as a Hall of Famer. It's easy to go down as a Hall of Famer today, because they're already talking about certain fighters going down as Hall of Famers, even though we see them ducking other fighters. Or it would appear, the appearance of them ducking other fighters is right there. And I'm talking about you, Cinnamon Bun. Now, you hollering, you want everybody to shut up. It's your time. It ain't your time. You ain't nobody. You don't scare nobody. You don't scare nobody. You might scare fighters or something in your size range. You don't scare nobody. You not a scary guy. You're not a bad guy. Like I say before, you fighters that's what you guys are. You guys are boxers. You're not street fighters or nothing like that. You're not gangsters or nothing. You're fighters. It's a sport. It's prize fighting. That's what y'all do. Y'all don't scare nobody nowhere else. Oh, that's such and such. You guys ain't that. You guys ain't scary, man. Believe me. You're not. You guys ain't known to do other shit. Y'all ain't known to beat officials down in the middle of the street. Y'all ain't known for that. Y'all known for boxing. Stop it. Don't come out of your realm acting like you something else, because you're a fighter. You box, stay with boxing. That's right, brother. I had to put that down. Okay, so let's go into it, brother. Let's go into it. So, Ugas, fight perfectly off your back foot. Do not have lapses. Do not have lapses in concentration at all. Do not. You cannot afford to have lapses in concentration, because Manny will jump in. Manny jumps in, then make sure you are on that timing when he jumps in. So a back foot will be pretty good at times, maybe just to fill him out. Do not go on the back foot until later on in the fight. Don't start off in the back foot. Ugas, come forward and allow Manny to jump in as you're turning. Make sure you pivot when you first come in, because he's going to test you. He's going to charge out at you, maybe jump, maybe he leaps. If he does a double leap, then if you've seen how Marquez caught him on that little double leap, then that's how you got to catch him. Just like that. But we staying on the back foot, boom, back foot. But we start off on the front. Start off in the front. Just stand your ground in the beginning. Stand your ground, see what he's going to do. Because he's going to show you everything he's going to do. Within the first couple of rounds, he's going to show you everything. And I know a lot of people saying how intelligent Manny is. I don't see him as being that intelligent of a fighter. I just see him, he comes out and fights. His intelligence comes from, like, I got you hurt, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But his intelligence is not like, in the beginning of a fight, he's not really, he just does what he's going to do. I mean, you could surprise him. Now, I would say this to a lot of fighters. If you fighting a big fight, now the first thing you do is come out, hey, like just like I said, like Andre Ward did with the bully. Come out and overhand right away, overhand left or something. Throw something crazy as hell. Because then his eyes get big a little bit. He got to think like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Make him think about it. Make him think about what is going to do. Especially if you don't think he's that much of a thinker, you make him think about what he's going to do. But like I said, that's going to be your key. That jab, back foot, but stand your ground in the beginning, and then maybe back foot. Look for counters. Watch angles. It's a lot of information. Yeah, watch angles. You know, make sure you got good feet. Your footing is real good, and get ready for a couple of double steps because he does like a double step in, and watch for like a more than just a feint, almost like a double jab. Watch for that type of stuff because he's trying to get the distance. When he throws the first punch, if you don't parry the punch, make sure you step out of range just a little bit. You don't have to step way out of range. But just for that second punch comes, then you're out of range enough to what doesn't hit you and you can counter. Manny, just keep doing what you're doing. So on Manny's side, Manny has to try to manage that height. So Manny you have to make sure that your abilities to get in, you have to make sure that those work, that you actually can get in. You know, comfortably, safe. Not reckless and not acting like you're 20 years old and you could take a counter all the time. Because you might be at the stage where your brain says, I can't take those kind of counters no more. You might or you might not, but we don't know. I don't want you to go out there really testing yourself like that. We like you enough that we don't want you to, go and test your face. But just work your angles, your speed, get your flurries off. Get in close enough to get your flurries off. If Ugas if he's not gonna keep you at a distance, if he's not gonna respect your distance when you get in there, and he's not doing anything, he's not pivoting, then just keep constantly getting your counters off or your offense off. Shoe shine on him a few times, combination on him. And then, of course, you land some of your hard shots. But I would still think, for Manny, to be a little bit worry about, any kind of counter or too many exchanges, throughout this fight. I think it's kind of dangerous for Manny to get into a lot of heavy exchanges, even though it's Ugas. I wouldn't get into a whole lot of heavy exchanges with him. Because if he feels that your power is just not there, like, okay, you're fast, but you hit me with your best shots, you really don't got shit, then it's going to be a hard night for you. So that's my summary on those two. And also, you guys got my summary, and I didn't see anybody arguing, no arguments with me today about why Pacquiao is more world great than earthly great. And I do see somebody coming up in here now. D-Lo 404 came up in here. Salute to D-Lo 404. Yeah. So my summary about what's great. There's earthly great and then there's worldly great. And so Manny still is, worldly great, but he's not earthly great. And he's gonna have to, like I said, just use his weaponry effectively. Maybe even try to step in at Ugas. I don't think it's gonna work on Ugas as well as it did on Keith Thurman. How you throw those punches and step in between to get his legs squared up and then throw a punch. Because Manny depends on that a lot of times to get you down. But be careful trying to do that, Manny, against Ugas, because Ugas may be sitting back on the back foot. He's waiting for you to leap. He's waiting for your both your feet to end up off the ground. Because if your feet end up off the ground, you will end up on your back. Yeah. Dilo said I picked Manny by a majority decision. No, he has to knock him out, though. It has to be a knockout. If you're knocking out Earl, you got to knock out Ugas. And so I got to stick with that. This has to be a knockout. Manny, I can't accept nothing less than a knockout. An early knockout. You got to knock him out. Because, because your camp, you still in a knockout camp. Everybody's saying, oh, he got so much power, you're going to do this and do that, so you still got to do it. I'm not saying you're going to do it, but I'm saying you still have to in order for me to elevate you a little bit more, that he still got to do it. Let me go. I gotta check my thumbs up. I gotta make sure D'Lo ain't slipping. No, yeah. D'Lo said we had a few people come through today. Yeah, they not. We don't have no talkers today. I've been talking with Derek Bailey. I've been talking with Sir Flame. I've been talking with Lala D. And my brother comes in. I always talk with him. He always has some words of wisdom, or he has something to say about these fights and stuff there. But 146, 147, that's about the expected weigh-in. And hopefully that Ugas doesn't have a torn bicep, something like that. He's training. You got to train hard to tear it. When you tear muscles, you're training. You're not getting massaged enough. Usually, you ain't stretch. You just banging hard, and you're not getting massaged good enough, or you're overstretching. In the case of me, when I tore muscles in my leg, is because I was overstretching. I was overstretching my calves, and they just exploded. It's nasty looking thing. It just, you see the blood in your leg, you're like, ugh, what the hell I did? Yeah, you tore a muscle. Yeah, it's just not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. So hopefully he doesn't have a torn muscle. You can't move. You can't move with a torn muscle. You're gonna be in pain. You're gonna be in pain the whole time. I say that Manny has to have the knockout. I really don't know if he will get the knockout. I'm probably gonna look at it just like D'Lo's looking at it. There might be even majority, but I can still see it going Ugas' way by decision now, because I really think that a lot of the older media, what they did is they really feel like they gave Manny enough accolades. Like, that's enough. And they really don't care for him anymore. And once they don't care for you anymore, when they know you should be out, when they know you should be out of sports and stuff, they stop caring. If you guys have never noticed that about past athletes, they get tired of you, and they, no telling, they'll do it to you. Like, get your ass out of boxing. You've been in boxing too long. We gave you all your accolades. Time for you to get moving. It's time for you to get out of boxing. Right? And even though we're in a period of accepting everything, who knows with boxing? At one point, they may not accept all this anymore. They may not accept all this YouTube fighting and all these other athletes fighting from other sports just all of a sudden trying to take over boxing and stuff. They might not allow that. This might just be a quick fad and it's over with. Once somebody gets seriously injured, then that'll be over with. Because I'm wondering who's actually, is the boxing commission actually sanctioning this stuff? For real? I don't know who's okaying this. But they're okaying it as an exhibition type. I guess you could do that, but still. That's a lot of insurance money. That's a lot of insurance money when you got, amateurs and they're fighting like that. If anything, I wouldn't even put it as exhibition. I'll put it as something else. Is there something else? Is there something lower than exhibition? If you're going to put on the exhibition, is something lower than that? I would put these fights, a lot of these fights, I would put them on a lower status than exhibition. I wouldn't put them on just exhibition, because shit, ain't no telling, man. That shit, they gonna end up paying. They gonna end up spending money on this shit. But like I said, Manny has to have the knockout. He may not get the knockout, but for me, he has to have the knockout. I don't know about the rest of y'all besides D'Lo, but he has to have a knockout. Because you've been training for a knockout, didn't get your knockout. Let's see it. Eagles Wear Boxing, y'all know what it is, man. Eagles Wear Boxing, we got to see it. That's all it is. What it is, and we got to see the knockout. I don't want to hear nothing else. I want to see and hear that you knock somebody's ass out, and that's gonna make you even greater. But even after this fight, so hopefully after this fight, because you got a lot of people picking Manny and Manny's so great and all this. So after this fight, if he's still great, Because I don't know. Shit, I don't know. We got to see it. But if he is, then hopefully, I'm looking at this. You got to look at it positively. So hopefully these younger fighters, the ones that we need to see fight, hopefully they will step up because they seen that Manny's still doing it. And they know Manny is a great, and Manny does not, he does not have an old record. So maybe we can get some of these cowards in there with these O's and see if they're willing for those O's to go. Because if you got two fighters that's undefeated, then one of them is going to be defeated. Yes, you hit us with some draw type shit. Yeah. And speaking of fighters with O's like Tyson Fury, he may even retire. He might just keep his O and just go. He just was not a champion, man. Not a formidable champ. Not even really a champion. When you see the controversy, the stuff that he does is he's not worldly known like that. He's earthly known. It's a controversial fighter. And I don't care if you're his fan or not, he's just a controversial fighter. Because if you got somebody's number like that, you fight him right away. You don't wait around. Shit, even Dylan White came back and fought right away. Right? He got his ass knocked out by the uppercut, and he came right back for that action, right? But you doing all kinds of stuff, trying to keep from fighting. When you need to get your ass out there and fight. That's all we care about. All we care about you is getting your ass out there and fight. All the other stuff, we don't care nothing about that. If you stalling out, then we got to wonder what's going on. Why are you stalling out? And why is people making up excuses for you when you're the greatest heavyweight right now? And he's not the only one that gets the punishment from me. If I'm gonna talk about it. Same thing with you, Canelo. How come you see the one argument that people will always come up with Canelo is why did he leave all that action on the table at 160? And I'm gonna tell you why people are bringing that up is because he mentioned in an interview how he wanted all that action at 160, and all of a sudden he just disappears. You ain't the goods. And I did watch you get beat up before a couple of times, but I watched a 147 pounder beat you up pretty bad. Was doing hit you with every punch he wanted to, throwing little jabs at you, uppercutting you. I seen him embarrass the hell out of you. Okay, so if you look at the Mayweather, if you look at Mayweather, how was Mayweather that much better than all the other welterweights? Think about it. You've seen his fights. How was he that much better? What was he doing? Think about this. What was MTM doing to fighters that was so much better than any other fighter? I'm going to see if anybody knows. What was he doing that was so much better than any other fighters? Matter of fact, I'm going to help you out a little bit. I'm going to ask you another question. Was Mayweather throwing better combinations than other welterweights? Was his combinations that much better? Huh? I'm going to just show you where you really are, where you think all these fighters are great, or fighters are doing this, fighters are this and that. Just by me asking you those questions. What made Mayweather so much better? MTM, how was he so much better? Was he hitting harder than all the other welterweights? Was he hitting harder than all the other welterweights? You had De La Hoya out there hitting hard, right? You had Shane Mosley. So was Mayweather hitting harder? Was he throwing better combinations? Was he hitting harder? So I'm trying to give you some help on how you can figure out about just MTM. How could you figure out what kind of fighter he was, and why was he winning so? Why was it so effortlessly his wins? Why did they look so effortless? Huh? Why is that? Y'all better answer something. We about to get out of here, man. I just want to see where my boxing minds are. So I got so many intelligent boxing minds in here. I just want to see. What was Mayweather doing that was so much greater? When you go back and look at his fights, how was he winning? Why was he doing stuff so much greater than other fighters? What was he doing? How was he able to get these wins? No matter what, he was still getting the wins. Even when you got fighters that wasn't so gifted, that gave him even better fights than some of the fighters that were supposed to be gifted. Huh? Some fighters were supposed to be so gifted, when they fought Mayweather, they looked like he said, they looked ordinary. But you had ordinary fighters that weren't that gifted, that made it had it and made it a rougher time on Mayweather. Why is that? Why is that? And to where you made up excuses after the fight, oh, he don't hit hard and this and that, but you lost. See? And then I'll explain it to you. Because nobody wants to say nothing. They think they're going to get the wrong answer. There's never any wrong answers in there. There's just our side. It's my side, which you got to understand. You in Eagles where boxing is my side, which is the right side, and then there's your side. No, I'm just kidding. It's our side, brother. Brothers and sisters, it's our side. I'm just trying to find out why was Mayweather such a, why was he such a thing? Why was he such a terrible person to win against? How come nobody could get that W? Huh? Just as much speed as Mayweather. That's what they say. For some of the fighters, that's the narrative. Just as much speed. Just as much, throws more punches, more speed, more power. So, in other words, there's something to it, right? You got all the ingredients to be a great fighter. All the ingredients. But it has to be something missing. And the thing is Mayweather, MTM didn't let you use your skill set. So even if you had all these plans, your skill set, once he started making you concentrate on one set of your skills, then it was over with. And that was the key to Mayweather, is making you rely on a specific skill set that you had, but that specific skill set just wasn't going to be enough to beat Mayweather. So now you got the Eagles' answer. So that's the Eagles' answer to it. And so we need to see more of that. If we're going to see a dominant, great fighter, then we need to see another fighter that will only allow you to use so much of your weaponry. Because even Ali, to be honest, even Ali wasn't able to do that with a lot of the fighters. He wasn't able to limit everything that they did. They would still, because the thing is, they would still try, because Ali was defensive, but he was a different kind of defensive fighter. He could stretch way back to where you couldn't hit him. There wasn't no type of Philly shell or nothing like that. So even in that regard, he might be even better than Ali as far as like limiting you to what you're going to try to do for longer. I put it that way, because they would still try. If you had one weapon against Ali, you would still try to use it during the whole fight. Even though you was getting beat up, you would still try to use that one weapon. I still got my one weapon. I'm gonna try it. But with Mayweather would make you change, and so you couldn't. All your weapons, I ain't gonna try to use that no more, because he crack you. You get hit with that damn right, and then you just stop thinking about what you could do, and you start thinking about what you can't do. But we need to get more fighters like that. We need to get a fighter that would, not allow you to use everything that you have. Because even fighters tried that against Mike Tyson. I mean, but they would do that like in the beginning. Like as soon as the bell ring, they throw everything in their arsenal, like every punch that they had, and be tagging Tyson too, just throwing everything. And then Tyson would just be rolling with it, and then all of a sudden he'd just come out with a hook or something and be over with. Yeah, he'd knock your damn chin, make your chin hit you in the forehead. He wants, and that would be over with. So that's the difference. That's one of the differences. If you guys never noticed that the difference between Mayweather is he would make you, stop. You had the best jab, he would make you stop using your jab. But people didn't even do that against Mike Tyson. They had to come out like they throwing everything they can, throwing everything in the book. You couldn't do that, because it's a thinking process, and you say, okay, he's not gonna. Okay, well, make him have to use something else. Don't let him use his favorite weapon. And the best way to do that is you land some punches first, and so you make the other fighter have to land something. But hopefully we get a great fight. That's what I'm looking for. We're looking forward to a great fight. Manny's still great, and we're going to see if we can boost him up a little bit more. No arguments from the crew today. I was looking for arguments or something. When I say arguments, not fights, just discussion. But y'all didn't want to do it. Y'all can't handle Eagle. And I don't blame you. I stay away from myself, man. I'm so scary, I stay away from my own self. Yeah, but we got to get out of here. We should have been out here. I got this big event, man. Y'all pray me, shout me out, man. Give me nothing but my blessings for the weekend, man. Because I really do need this, man. This is a huge another opportunity, for me to do great things. And I hope that you guys all just do nothing but great things, man. I'd like to be around great people. I want people to do great things. I never want you guys to do anything other than great things, because I'm not a hater like that. Yeah, there you go. Derek Bay said, "Yeah, Mayweather's good at taking away your best weapon." Yeah, he just takes, like, what you gonna use now? Yeah, but the thing about that, so that was two sides to that. So a fighter that didn't have that many skills, they were still gonna use whatever they had. Because even if you notice when he fought Guerrero was trying to use everything he had. Madonna was using everything he had. They didn't have, because they didn't have the tools. Like, you can't take, when a fighter only has a couple of tools, you can't take those away. They're gonna still use them. They might get caught and pieced up, but they're gonna use them. But if you got somebody that got all kinds of tools, especially when you hear somebody bragging about how many tools their fighter has, if they're taken, then they get taken away. Especially when they got a whole lot of tools, then they just get taken away. And you're right. That's what Mayweather took. If all you had was the power punch, and that's all you had, you probably was gonna land him on Mayweather, because that's all you got. But if you say, oh yeah, he got this, that, you got 4 or 5 different things, then he gonna take away your best. Whatever your best thing is, you're not gonna be able to land it like you want to. You're gonna throw it, and he's gonna block it a certain way, and that's what it is. It is what it is. But anyway, my shout out to all the real people I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. This is Friday, man. This is the rap. Good fortunes and stuff for Ugas and Pacquiao out there, and good fortunes for all my people out there that came through to see Eagle today. Y'all know what it is. Nothing but blessings. Yeah. My brother. I'm gonna catch y'all, man.